feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
Has an extra chromosome, which is a Y. Which is all type of. I ain't gonna talk about that. Anyway, do y'all remember this guy, Michael Rubin? So Michael Rubin, after saying this on the Breakfast Club, he said some important person called him. Now we know it's Jay-Z, and I'm just letting y'all know it's Jay-Z. But this is what he said on the Breakfast Club. Then somebody important called him.
The thing I don't like about that is it doesn't bother me for me. It bothers me that it actually, when I see the narrative of a really good friend of mine like Meek, and people trying to, you know, again, if he was gay, which there's not one gay bone in his body, who cares? Number one, let's say if people want to be gay, it is 2024. Who the fuck cares? Okay. Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. So like, why do people want to?
Yo, chat, what's a gay bone? Is a gay bone like a funny bone or something? Like, ooh, what's a gay bone? Y'all know what a gay bone is? What's a gay bone, chat? I wonder who got like 2 gay bones in their body, but nothing else. What's a gay bone, chat? What bone is the gayest you could have in your body? Is the tailbone the gay bone? Maybe it's the kneecap. That's the gay bone? Maybe somebody said the dildo is the gay bone. Is this, what the fuck is the gay bone? I just want to know. What's the gay bone, chat?
Lie about that. Why do people want to change the narrative of bet he made with me to try to hurt him? Like, that is the one thing I've learned about, you know, look, I'm just being blunt because it's me. It's the one thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black hate on hate.
Speak on that more. I heard you say that earlier, and I wanted you to expound on that. You said you don't like to see black people tearing down other black people.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay.
Like it's horrible. Like, why? Like, I want to support look, you guys, 2 of you guys know me pretty well. Anything I can ever help with, I'm always there. I always want to be helpful. I feel lucky and fortunate to do what I do every day. To be as, you know, whatever success I've had, I feel blessed to do that. And I want to give back in every way I can. You know, in business and in charitable things, I'm always trying to be helpful. The thing I don't like about that is it doesn't. Like, why does someone want to bring somebody else down? Let's try to build everybody up. Like, you know, I'd be more excited if, you know, I'd be more excited to see one of my friends do something that's 99% less meaningful to me, but it would be really meaningful to them because I want them to do great. I want everyone around me to do.
Now, everybody who's posting this didn't really post the full context. And if you're wondering what I thought about him saying that, like, yeah, it was definitely out of pocket for him to necessarily, like, come in and, you know, if your first contribution or first, addendum to black culture is saying what you don't like about it, you know, it just sounds wrong and looks wrong from a cultural perspective when you're a white man, right? Who seemingly, it doesn't seem like your business is as booming without said black culture. So how could you just criticize? If anything, you should be highlighting the best parts of it because it's helped you out so much in business. But if we go to the Breakfast Club interview, and by the way, you know, I've seen some people also look at it like, well, man, niggas do hate each other. And that's kind of whack.
Make that.
You know, that's a separate point, and I'm not going to get into that. But what I wanted to get into was, this was an interesting part that I don't know if people seen.
And by talk about the bunny hops. Okay.
Here we go.
His idea. Meek said,
100%.
Because Meek thought.
But you know, like, the thing I don't like about that is it doesn't bother me for me. It bothers me that it actually, when I.
Now, Charlamagne's going to hit him with a question, and I don't see people really understand how this is like some slick shit that I think happened. Listen.
I see the narrative of a really good friend of mine like Meek, and people trying to, you know, again, if he was gay, which there's not one gay bone in his body, who cares? Number one, let's say if people want to be gay, it is 2024. Who the fuck cares? Okay. Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. So like, why do people?
Yo, chat, how y'all figure out if a nigga got a gay bone in his body? Like, how does that work? Could anybody tell me the steps to figure out if a nigga got a gay bone in his body? And which bone is the gayest? We need to find out.
Want to lie about that? Why do people want to change the narrative of bet he made with me to try to hurt him? Like, that is the one thing I've learned about, you know, look, I'm just being blunt because it's me. It's the one thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black hate on hate.
Speak on that more. I heard you say that earlier, and I wanted you to expound on that. You said you don't.
Now, the part that I wanted to play on till, and I haven't seen nobody leave this part in, Charlamagne's going to throw a question to him about, so how does it work in the Jewish community? He's like, do y'all Jewish guys go out of your ways to support other Jewish guys? And he catches himself at an interesting point. I want to see if we can play that.
Don't like to see black people tearing down other black people.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, like it's horrible. Like, why? Like, I want to support every. Look, you guys, 2 of you guys know me pretty well. anything I can ever help with, I'm always there. I always want to be helpful. I feel lucky and fortunate to do what I do every day because, whatever success I've had, I feel blessed to do that. And I want to give back in every way I can, in business and in charitable things. I'm always trying to be helpful. Like, why does someone want to bring somebody else down? Let's try to build everybody up. Like, I'd be more excited if I'd be more excited to see one of my friends do something that's 99% less meaningful to me, but it would be really meaningful to them because I want them to do great. I want everyone around me to do great. I don't like watching, there's a little bit, and you tell me, you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think there's a little bit of a black culture of like, it's black hate on hate. It's like that black judge that Meek had that hated on him and wanted to go extra hard on him. Okay. It's like, it's what people always say to me. It's like black hate on hate. So I think it's terrible. I think it's something that I think it's culturally wrong. And I'll probably get killed for saying this because,
I'm glad you're saying it openly. If this is the conversations that are being had.
I have it all the time.
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you go with what Charlamagne was saying. If this is a conversation being had amongst, he doesn't say what, but who do you think that is? If that's what y'all talking about, okay, cool.
I think it's wrong. I think, like, why do you not want to build everyone up around you? Why do you not want everyone around you to do great? The best way for everyone to do great is to push each other up, okay? I'm always pushing everyone around me. It's why I spend, a quarter of my days helping other people because I want them to do great. And by the way, it's why people always, if you think about this, no one ever came at me before last year, okay? Last year we had the bunny hops you brought up. You brought up the...
little baby from the back.
Right, okay, which are each completely made up. None of these things had any real, they weren't real. They were made up to hurt people, okay? Yet everyone still comes out for me because they're real authentic relationships. And I want to help everyone in every way I can. So to me, if I could say one thing, let's everyone go out with positive energy, try to make everyone do great around us and build people up. Let's not try to bring people down. You don't do better by taking your competition down. You do better by pushing everyone up together. You want all the wind behind your back.
So when you see black people tearing other black people down in your mind, you'd be like, I would never do business with that person because of how they treat their own people?
Well, I don't see... I don't really see the people I'm around tearing people down. What I see is the conversations that we have about people trying to tear them down. And I think even if...
Because Meek brings that up a lot.
Meek doesn't bring it up a lot, but I'll bring it up to Meek and be like, look, when you grow up the way Meek did, you grow up the way Baby did, these guys are tough, okay? You grow up, you didn't even think you were going to make it to the age you are today. You're coming out of a pretty violent background. I think you feel fortunate, but I think the reality is
we're gonna get to it. I'm sorry.
They're aware that there's a lot of hate that comes with their success. Even if someone's trying to get out, I grew up in a ruthless environment. And, I don't, I'm trying to improve the people that are around me. It's like, man, it doesn't mean you don't want to help the people around you. Meek does so much of his really does bother me because I think it's wrong and I think it's culturally hurting the outcome of the black community. I think it would be much better if everyone tried to push each other up.
Are there examples of that in the white community?
Here we go. This is the part people aren't highlighting, right? So he's saying, yo, y'all keep hating on each other in the black community. Now, there are certain people, even someone like Kanye, he believed that Jewish people collude to keep themselves in a place of power and keep power away from other people. Now, people have said, of thinking. So if you say Jewish people have all the money, that you're being anti-Semitic. If you even say, it's kind of interesting. So as he spoke on black culture, now Charlamagne's trying to get some understanding about how this works in Jewish culture, and watch how he masterfully sidesteps this question. Here.
That whole thing really does bother me because I think it's wrong and I think it's culturally hurting the outcome of the black community. I think it would be much better if everyone tried to push each other.
By the way, chat, my point isn't if he's wrong or right. I'm just saying the reason why he shouldn't speak on this is because when it comes to his own community, there is no openness for anybody to speak about them. And also, he doesn't speak certain type of ways to be very transparent neither. And it's going to be shown by keep listening.
Up.
Are there examples of that in the white community?
Let's keep it. Look. I'm Jewish. I'm not remotely religious.
Okay, in the Jewish community. Are there examples?
Exactly. Let's hear about how there is a lack of hate in the Jewish community, and maybe how y'all just all work together to help each other up. Let's hear about it. That's what I wanted to hear. Let's hear about it, or let's see if he sidesteps.
I'm not remotely religious. Okay, it's just who I am. I've never have been. Okay. But the hate toward Jewish people now, it's horrible. And it does not affect it. I feel more bad for my daughter. You see she's going to USC next year. And you have,
You see how he just shifted. The conversation was about black, within culture, black people hating on other black people, not working together for upliftment. Charlamagne said, could you give us an example of that in white culture? The guy said he's Jewish. He said, all right, well, in Jewish culture, show us an example of how this works perfectly for y'all. You see how he just sidestep and says, the hatred people have for Jewish people is bad. He doesn't talk about maybe the positive of, or give examples of how maybe in the Jewish community, they do the exact opposite of what he says he doesn't like about the black community. And for me, that's what was where it was just like, if you're not giving us examples of how y'all do that in the Jewish community, why do you then criticize the black community? That's all I was just trying to say.
You have situations where people can't even get into their college because they're, Cornell in New York City, not in New York City, Columbia in New York City, literally couldn't even control and make it safe for Jewish students to be there. Like, why is this good? This is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all want to bring people together. By the way, why do I want to do Fanatics Fest? Because I want to bring tens of thousands of sports fans together. Why is sports great? Because it brings community together. Hate is bad. Any type of hate sucks. It's why my dear friend Robert Kraft started the Blue Square to eliminate hate. Like, if you'd say in life, if we could just like get people to always support each other, get rid of hate, like that's, why is this all this killing all the time? It's from hate. And so, I have a lot of conversations about it.
In the Jewish community, do you guys support each other more? Do you see more support?
Right here. Exactly. Here we go.
I think in most communities, other than,
You see, he said most communities other than the black community. See, he's not speaking directly to it. Teach us the ways. If the black community is full of hate that's keeping each other down, give us the ways of how this is done correctly. Maybe in your community.
No, I think in most communities, people are pretty just support. Like I support everyone around me. I don't care, black, white, purple, yellow, gay. I don't care. Like, I'm going to support everyone around me. That's the way I've always been built, to push everybody up, to push everyone around me. I think that's generally great for me. I think most communities do it that way. I mean, you tell me, do you think I'm right or wrong about, be honest.
I mean, listen, it's uncomfortable to hear you say it as a Jewish man, right? But I can't say that you're wrong. That's why, but one thing I always say is that when I'm talking about like what we call Uncle Toms,
yep.
I always say all of these Uncle Tom black men think white people like that, and they don't. They think like white people are Jewish.
Okay, all right.
Important security message.
What the fuck?
Your computer has been locked up.
What the fuck?
Your IP address was used without your knowledge or consent to visit websites that contains identity theft virus.
Oh no!
To unlock the computer, please call support immediately.
Okay, I had to close the whole shit. I clicked on some website going to Twitter.